Good evening, everyone. We're here for another stream of the tournament, and actually it is the first tournament stream of this professional season. Spring season 2022. Let me just quickly open the stream in the background. We still have some time, a couple of minutes until the games are starting. So, where's it actually? It's looking surprisingly dark on the camera. Never mind. Good. We should be live. Just quickly checking everything, whether everything is working. Yeah. Well, there is a delay of 3 minutes today, as usual for the tournament streams. 3 minutes of delay, and we will be seeing two great games actually, and the first one will be BPS versus Serenity. Both of these teams are definitely top 4 candidates, yet they will have to prove their abilities. And I will be excited to see how they're actually going to play today. I know that BPS team, the clan that I'm in, is likely going to play a lot of T100 light tanks. The new light tank that is absolutely dominating the meta for them. For others, though, the 60TP and the M60 are more relevant in their gameplay. So it will be interesting to see which kind of tanks are actually going to be chosen. I do not know the maps yet, I think. Nope, I don't see the maps yet. First game, yeah, BPS versus Serenity. By the way, it is the main BPS team and the one with the dashes. We currently have 2 BPS teams on the top 8. That has happened at some point already, but it's just great to see 2 times BPS in the top 8. And yeah, we also have lots of different other strong clans, of course, in the top 8, like Jones and APA, Serenity, Raid. Those will be fighting for the top places, I can tell you. And then we also have Immor and Veil. Veil? What is it? Veil? Are they in the top 8? So confusing. Do we actually have Veil in top 8? I think not. We also have the first clan. Okay. Also have the first clan in the top 8. Did I miss any clan here? I don't think so. I'm just looking at the names. Oh, I still have to change one more thing real quick. Good that I noticed right now, because I have to change my screen settings so it is 16 to 9. Yeah. Second game, by the way, will be BPS versus Jones. So another top game is awaiting us today if we are actually going to get my choices there, which I hope, and we will have to see. I hope, I guess that we will be able to see those. Usually it works, but Wargaming sometimes not really too eager about telling us everything about what's actually going on behind the scenes. Okay. So yeah, hey everyone who already joined in here. Good to see you. A couple of people are already on the chat. I see Bella, Chip, Ligundo, and Pizza. 95 acres. Welcome everyone. I might just actually quickly share the streams on my Discord, because Twitch is automated. YouTube is not automated anymore. That is because I switched over to Twitch for my main streaming platform. So if you want to see my gameplay, playing touch on a decent level, on a pretty good level I would say, and trying to explain stuff and such, yeah, just join over to Twitch and leave a follow down below. You can just find the link in the description beneath the stream. And yeah, for the tournaments though, I will be streaming on YouTube, where I otherwise only release videos every now and then about how to play the game, etc. More to come, more to come. So it is worth leaving a subscription on YouTube as well. But yeah, main stuff is going to take place on Twitch, like my usual streams that I am doing like 3 to 4 times a week. But for the next days, we'll be on YouTube quite a lot, as the tournament is going to keep us busy here. Would be great if Discord actually was loading now. Yeah, we've got it. Still another 5 minutes until the games are starting, so you can still relax a little bit. Get yourself some snacks, etc. And you will be prepared for the games. As said already, maybe people just join in. First games will be the main BPS team, Dash BPS, let's just call it Dash BPS, against Serenity. Might be a bit confusing, but Dash BPS is actually the main team and does have the highest chances. Although the others certainly are also pretty nice, pretty great players that have just achieved the top 8 for not for no reason. Okay. Let's just quickly put my stream link in the Discord, on a Discord server. Got it. Ooh, laptop is just, I noticed a little bit of lags here and there, but usually that should not be an issue throughout the games. Usually everything is working and I'm not struggling at all with that kind of stuff. So don't be afraid of having to see a horrible stream experience here. Because mostly everything's working. Mostly. Right now it seems to be fine. Okay. Let's just quickly start the game, also to make sure we are prepared when the games are starting in a couple of minutes. Yeah. Okay. One thing after another, just going to take a while, so where's the game now? Come on. Alright. Just quickly. Good, game just opened. And sometimes really taking a while on my laptop to load the game. Although we will be able to stream at highest graphics settings. The loading into it just let's just take some time. Good that we're here to start early, so we will not struggle to find our games on time. Oof, that's loud. Okay. Okay. That means I will be able to share my screen with you. No, I still have to do. What the heck? Why is this so freaking loud? Why is this so loud? Because of the update, all the settings are reset. Music volume, it's at 10%? What? Let's just decrease that. What on earth? It was so damn loud. Oh, I'm actually still on my reroll, so I quickly have to change accounts. And now it's getting time to hurry up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll just quickly load the game, get into the training room, and do everything else afterwards. But I mean, sound level should actually be fine. Sound level should be fine. Just gotta double check everything. Yeah. I see. My headphone volume is just way too high. Sound level should be absolutely fine to you guys. Okay. Привет. Oh, come on, game. I don't get it why it's loading for so long. Maybe because of the update, as I was just not in the game since then, as I'm playing on touch usually. Oh, man. Come on. Why is this crap loading so long? Oh, come on, it's 20. I hope we didn't just miss the first game because of this. Because I was logged in on the wrong account and it's taking so long. Tournament. Oh, man. Oh, man. Why does it have to load for 1 minute? Why does it have to load for 1 minute? Oh, I had plenty of time. I'm sorry, guys. We will only see the second game then. Oh, man. I just started the game like 3 minutes before. Okay. We will only be able to see the second game then. I'm really sorry for this. I was trying to not be late. And yeah, I was really hoping to be on time, but that it was taking that long because of this damn update, I could not be expected. Yeah, unfortunate. Well, actually, yeah, we will be able to see the second game, then that's not an issue. Why do we have a BPS player with Loka on there? Who is this? Amur. Who is this? Oh, come on, man. That's so unlucky. But be sure that this will soon not happen anymore. Not a single time anymore, as I will also get a new PC next week or in 2 weeks or something. Maybe still throughout the tournament. I would rather get it afterwards. Well, yeah. Actually, I've got a capable machine here, but with the streaming stuff, although I can just play at highest or stream at highest settings, that's just sometimes a little bit of a struggle if I'm just streaming on PC. Having everything running. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy to see that a couple of you are still, or many of you guys are still here. Yeah, quite a lot of people just joined in. Still, welcome to everyone. I'm sorry for this bad start into the stream, but we will have a few more games, or actually a lot more games today, and therefore you should not be disappointed about this rough start here. We will get to see a lot more than that. Actually, BPS going for double 50B on this game. That's interesting. I would like to see that, man. Castilla. Come on. I would like to see that. Yet, because of this damn issue, yeah, I was not able to. Or we are not able to. There's Castilla actually with quadruple light tank on the Leo 1. Double 50p. Look at this setup. Other team, Serenity, also going for double I7, 150B and quadruple light tank. Okay, okay. Actually, with this kind of setup, it should not last for too long. As it is, yeah, it will be a rather quick steamroll game. And I hope that we are... And I hope that we are just able to see the game in the next game in a second. Come on, guys, just make it quick. I don't care who wins or loses. Doesn't look good to BPS though at this point. Good. We're in. We're in. Game is over in favor of Serenity, actually. Serenity seemed to have won by captures. Not everyone of the BPS team died, but let's see what's going to happen on the next one. Actually, now BPS is in a favorable spawn. As you may or may not know, the north spawn is a little bit better on this map, as you're just able to quickly get into the cap. Yeah, okay. 1 minute until the next game is starting. So no worries, we're fine now. Let's just take a breath here. I can relax a little bit. When you've got technical issues on stream, that's never fun. I assume it's not fun to you viewers, and even worse it is for me, as I'm here sitting in front of all of you guys and stuff is not working. Should have loaded the game like 10 minutes earlier, I guess. I don't know, in the past that has not been an issue, like game loading for too long. Like sometimes, yeah, 30 seconds or something, that's already super long. But this was, yeah, this was a surprise, because I was also logged in on the wrong account still. But okay, we are heading into the game. So I may move over a little bit so that I can see my screen better. Get up. Okay. We've got BPS again with a ton of light tanks, 5 LTs, 1 IS-7 and a VK-90, surprisingly. While Serenity is going for the AMX 50B this time, double IS-7, and the rest of the tanks are the light tanks. Same setup as last time for Serenity here. I'm a little bit out of vision now. Never mind, never mind. And the AMX is just heading straight towards B. He will be responsible for decapping the B cap. Also is able to put in some crossfire over there. Foxy might be in a little bit of trouble here. Rate to success, aka Ufpunjash here, taking a couple of shots for the first spot. Not a great start for BPS. But now Serenity is trapped in a very little part of the map. Yet Foxy, who's able to spot them up, not connecting the shot onto Alpha Rito here. But he is able to just provide the spots onto the AMX 50B. BPS potentially able to cap C soon. Nope, the IS-7s will deny that. But Foxy, I don't know if he is actually in trouble. He might get pushed onto, he does not have too much backup if the AMX is deciding to push onto him, but no, Taste will be the one just capturing the B cap. Nah, not quite, not quite. Foxy just getting very close to the wall here, just hugging the wall, to proxy spot the AMX 50B at the distance of only the 50 meters. The AMX will constantly be spotted in Macross top here, just taking a beating on the crossing. Tried to get out of the river here, where he just was not quite in the best position. AMX 50B now deciding to take some shots here for his chance to just deny the B cap of BPS. And I think it was worth it, because on the other side now, Serenity is in the A cap, taking the base unharmed so far. There was one light tank in the back, Ute here, moving back into the corner, but it will be too late to decap the A base, which leaves BPS at an unfavorable position, as they just could not get A, they could not take B, just closely before being able to take the base. They got decapped here. They will not be able to take the C base, and Serenity is actually going for a move on to Foxy here, just putting themselves right behind Foxy to build up some crossfire, and Spit will probably shoot the IS-7 from the front as well, which means Foxy, yeah, that's it. The AMX is reloading. Amorak here on Macross. Alright. Well, he was a two-shot anyways. It would not have taken too much longer to take this gun out of the fight. And BPS is actually winning right now. They did take out two guns so far. Macross top is a one-shot effectively out of the fight. BPS does not care about the caps too much here. Daniel going aggressive on Alpha Rito. And Alpha will not survive for much longer here. Daniel shot him down to a one-shot. Amuri on top of the hill here, being in a 1v1 against Da Silva, who's already down to a one-shot as well. Lots of low hit point tanks on the field. Da Silva will go down very soon to Daniel. Yeah, 7 hit points. There they go. In the meantime, base A was taken back. Last T100 just died here as well. And the IS-7, last man standing, won't be able to do anything about the outcome of this game at this point. There he goes. BPS just doing a great job of keeping their guns in the fight. But Serenity also delivering a really strong performance. Apart from the one situation where the T100 just got smacked on the crossing a little bit. Maybe that could have been avoided. I don't know. So who's that traitor with the Loka avatar there? Amura. I don't know who it is. People renaming all the time. Ah, such a shame. BPS player with Loka avatar. Just gotta flame him here. Just gotta flame him really hard. Because that's unacceptable. Actually, wrong scene here. Alright. Alright. Okay, we do have Alpenstadt now. Alpenstadt, not my favorite map in Clan Wars. Not my favorite map, as it just, it's very passive quite often. As one team, the North spawn, is mostly heading towards base A, just taking the A cap there and sitting it out, while on the south side you're able to get into C a little bit better. You can barely decap base A. You can just try to send over some tanks towards A, but pushing into A is not really an option, as the TT positions behind the A cap from the north spawn are really strong. This means that the north spawn mostly gets the cap advantage if they are able to take the base A immediately. And I guess that's probably going to happen. And we're seeing some very interesting lineup here. Serenity going for double 60 TP, triple IS-7 and double T100 LT. Whereas BPS on the other side is going for 5 T100 LTs and double IS-7s, which means they will have a tremendous hit point disadvantage from the start on. And it will be very interesting to see how they are going to work around this, and if they are able to do so. Because BPS will have to do a lot more legwork to make this work. But they are not called speedrunnery for no reason. The speedrunners Let's see what they are planning to do here. The IS-7s heading towards base B to potentially defend that a little bit. The T-100s in the back. So for just camping. Just camping all in one spot here. At least 3 of them, right? The others are just spotting a little bit. Triple LT camping behind, waiting for the initial information. Rate to success. Spotted. And also 2 tanks of the Serenity team got spotted. 3 tanks actually. Serenity going for the C move here. Unexpected to see that, but with the setup that Serenity has, they can afford to be quite aggressive. Yet BPS potentially making use of that. If they had enough tanks here, they could just push into the enemy spawn, take out Magros, Beat, Siu, and Top over there, as they were quite separated from their teammates. Yet BPS just did not have the map control, did not have the tanks available to go for this push. They had the information that Serenity was rather split up, yet they just did not have the tanks in the right spots to go for this move. The LT still camping behind. Hit point advantage still in favor of Serenity, although the trades have been better on the side of BPS. They will be very hard to reach with their light tanks here. They can just easily escape and run around, run away from the heavy tanks that are slow AF on the side of Serenity. That will probably not really be able to go for a push unless if it is the IS-7s they are pushing onto. But the IS-7s usually are not the greatest tanks to push onto, because those tanks, they are meant to get focused. They are the baits. And Kiket just missing his opportunity to get a shot into the IS-7s here. There is a push going on, led by Tasty here. The double IS-7s will go in first, will take the shots if they can. They are getting ignored so far, but they will just push straight into the middle, covered by the T-100s from behind. Macros top here just getting smacked already. Couple of shots bouncing and missing here everywhere. But BPS will be able to just take the bases. Yet they have to make sure that the IS-7s are not dying in the front while they are taking the C-cap. They turned around the cap game here. Now BPS has double caps, ticking against none, although Serenity will be able to take the B cap. But the T-100s now able to put out their tremendous DPM into the back of Serenity. They will have to be better at the focus fire though. So far it's not convincing here. Putra here going down. And now it is probably about getting spit out of the fight. Daniel on the run. Not surviving for much longer here. There he goes. Still an interesting fight here. Serenity has 1 tank more on the field and also still more hit points in the game. But BPS has that mobility. Question is whether that will be enough to turn around the game. Super close game here. Cap points also still in the favor of BPS. Important kill shot here. Important bounce on Amura here. But the LT will probably be able to take out Amura. No, both bounce each other. Both bounce each other. And it's suddenly looking like BPS is actually winning this. BPS is winning this game. Although Serenity had more hit points, more tanks throughout the entire battle, basically. BPS turned it around somehow. They had the caps, but they did not really go for the caps. They still went for the kills. The mobility of the T-100s here just playing out in a superb way, allowing the BPS team to fly around the map, take out the low hit point tanks and avoid the healthy heavy tanks that they did not want to focus on. 2-1 for the BPS team right now. Serenity struggling with the heavy lineup against such a mobile light tank lineup of the BPS team. They thought they could just take very heavy tanks and put themselves right in front of all the light tanks and they would not be able to do anything. Yet they were wrong about it. BPS was indeed able to do a lot about it. Okay. Okay. Actually, I just wanted to pull that over to the other screen so that I could actually just see my stream, where everything's working, etc. Will be quite nice to see. Okay. Okay. Alright. Next game will be Alpenstadt again. Just trying to read a bit of the chat here. Just trying to read a bit of the chat. Is there a chance to watch the first game later on? Yes, there will. I will show it after the games here because there was also a moment streaming the games that I'm showing right now. Only on the first one it is double coverage. I will show the games later on. Or the first game. And yeah, well, let's get into the games here at this point. See what this one is going to deliver to us. BPS going for an AMX 50B this time, one IS-7 and the rest LTs as usual. Serenity also having switched to more LTs again. Punjaj putting out a first nice shot, and the AMX 50B will be right behind him. But Mr. Tup is smart enough to not just escape straight away. Serenity straight pushing into B. There is no one there to decap them. And the light tanks in the back here are already in trouble. Amura here getting shot down a little bit already. 2k hit points in favor of Serenity, and they are building up that aggression with their heavy tanks over here. They are just taking the entire city at this point. Daniel in trouble. He is trapped. Daniel is not going to get out of this. This might already decide over the outcome of the game, because Daniel is going to go down very soon. The light tanks will have to build up the pressure here. They are pushing in. Whoa! Someone got smacked here. A Tup also one shot. Will not survive for much longer. Now it is triple LT against double IS-7 over here. Taste is not going to get out of this alive, I think. Yes, he is actually. This might be crucial to winning this still. But it does not look good to BPS. Punjaj in a 1v1 against Macross Beat over there, but he is low on hit points. Will not be able to survive this one. So he might just put out a few more shots. And Serenity meanwhile going in here on the light tanks, who just finished the IS-7. They are in 2v2 again. Yet they are struggling to penetrate here, and maybe they aren't just going to play for the distance. If they can, they will rotate out of this. Taste still trapped behind them, but he's unspotted. He's unspotted, down to one shot. BPS will try to take out the T100. Punjaj surprisingly survived for a really long time here. Yuta in general will be able to take out Macross Beat while staying alive. Nope, not entirely. Now it is 3v2, but BPS just does not have any hit points left. General, the only one with a couple of hit points. He's not a one-shot to the IS-7, yet he's a one-shot to the TP. Stays unspotted though, and Taste just got found by the Serenity guys, which is not good for BPS here. Absolutely not good for BPS. Where is Punjaj? There he goes. He's just flanking around the map, trying to find another angle. The TP here just stopping the A cap, which means that BPS will not have the cap advantage anymore. Ooh, General has to be very careful about this. Both of the light tanks are spotted. It's a bounce here. It is actually a bounce. But General also not connecting really on the TP in this case. I have seen a lot of bounces actually. I've seen a lot of bounces on both sides. Will be the question whether they will be able to still go for the distance here. Haha, B just getting capped again. Sneaky move. Question is whether Serenity will get this. Uh-oh. Does not look good. I don't think that OpenCharge will be able to move around this, out of this. Let's see. Whew. Oh, that was close. Oh, super close. But Serenity won't struggle to take back the base in B here. What was the function to just... I'm just missing the button to switch over to players. There it is. Okay, got the right one now. Ah, General just missing his shot, but finding an opportunity to put a shot into the IS-7. The TP though is an issue. OpenCharge is getting pre-aimed here apparently. I-7 misses the shot though. If the TP missed again, General might have a chance to maybe circle him. That's the only chance that BPS has right now. And like, maybe they can find an isolated target and just rush in. And still survive to be in a 2v1. That's exactly what's going to happen here. The TP is on the way to help out. While General is trying to focus down the IS-7 here. He will take a shot, that's for sure. And OpenCharge struggling to get into the fight. The IS-7 with the speed boost. Ooh. They were able to take out the IS-7. Now it's 2v1. But the points are ticking over. There is... okay. Okay, the TP not missing OpenCharge as he was flanking around the map. Alright. Alright. Great games here. Great game by General and OpenCharge. Two of the best light tank players out there in this game. If not the best. I guess I can even say it that way. Great performance here. Absolutely great performance. And Serenity just doing also a really nice job here, of course. Just got to mention that Serenity also was doing a really nice job here, building up the pressure at the start already with a heavy lineup that they had. BPS losing way too many hit points at the start, as they were just not prepared for this. Daniel getting trapped there, that was so crucial. BPS was able to somewhat save him, yet it was not really enough. It was not really enough to win the game. Then they were able to win the right flank. Then, yet they just lacked the hit points in the end to still do something. If like they had a few more hit points later on, or just one more tank available. With the light tanks against the heavy tanks, especially in the end games, the light tanks can be so crucial, as we could see on the game prior to this one, because the light tanks can just make use of the map. While it's still 7v7, the light tanks can't do too much. They have to be very passive. But as soon as it is a 2v2 or something, the light tanks can just use a far larger portion of the map without having to fear too much. And the heavies will have to go for the bases and will be too slow to really chase the light tanks or face them frontally. But also the light tanks would have really needed the hit points here to just go for some moves and maybe push into one tank or the other. This time it will be one of the brawl maps. This map often leads to very aggressive gameplay, and it will be all about the focus fire. The T-100s just rotating into the city. Serenity on the other side, spotting passively with Alpha here. Taster getting spotted in the middle in his IS-7. The IS-7s will just go through the bridge here, go hull down in the middle of the map. Nope. Nope, they're not going for it. They are actually going forwards. They're going forwards with the I-7s here. While the T-100s are rotating back. We could see on the map it was marked. They want to rotate out into the desert while leaving the IS-7s in the front here. Interesting move. Very interesting move. These IS-7s will not push over. They will just keep a lot of tanks occupied over here. While the T-100s are going to come in from behind. And they will find the Silver Sea isolated in the front here. They will have to be fast. They can have a huge tank advantage over here. IS-7s now going in from the other side. But it will be all about this fight here. And you can see this massive focus fire onto top here. Also, Alpha Rito is getting shot a little bit. Maybe rate of success, not surviving for any longer. One tank exchange here, but Alpha is down. Macross Beat will be the next one getting focused here. General still trying to hide. Set on fire, actually. Oh, that was the wrong button. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, sorry. It's still... Yeah, Serenity actually does have the hit point or tank advantage right now. Both of it. No tank advantage anymore. Macro speed will go down here to Daniel. That's no question. So it is 3-on-2 now. But the hit points are looking highly in favor of the Serenity team. Only Daniel is a one-shot though. This time. Oh! But this time, we've got two T-100s with no hit points against two very healthy IS-7s. The IS-7s are not easy to fight against. Oh, it's actually an IS-7 here. But we will have a T-100 with a lot of DPM who is able to quickly move in there. Oh, he took a shot. That's not good. Macross Kikette probably taking out Ute. No, he's not allowing... Ute's not allowing him to do so. Will he be able to circle around? Yes, he is. And Spit is just ignoring the T-100 as he cannot really circle. So they will try to just quickly take out Foxy together. While Ute is still trying to put in a couple of shots from behind to just have a good position to fight a 1v2 then. Foxy still trying to block Ibrahimo's Spit here. And there goes the T-100. Alright, alright. GG to Serenity. For a second, that push seemed to be a great idea. And turn around the game in favor of BPS. Yes, yet Serenity did great at reacting to this. They just left one IS-7 behind and rotated all their tanks back to the A-cap. Back in front of all the LT or T-100 LTs that were rushing into the desert, while the IS-7s from the BPS team were not really able to keep up the pace and managed to get into the fight. They were struggling on the rails. They were very far away from the main part of the team, and that really turned out to be an issue here. Although the idea was certainly great to just leave two IS-7s to have like a couple of tanks right in front of them while rotating all around the map with the rest of the team. But it was not enough to win this year. We will see the same map again. It is match point actually to Serenity. Best of 7 means 4 wins are needed to win the encounter here. BPS still needs 2 wins in a row right now. Not going to be easy. The pressure will be high, really high onto them. Although it is just very early into the tournament still. But they do not want to start with a defeat. Okay, next one. And probably, or maybe the last one for Serenity. Maybe. Desert Sands again. And we do have a rather similar amount of hit points. Still 1k hit points in favor of the Serenity team. And Serenity is going for a city push, as it seems. They have found the double I7s over here. BPS this time. Not having anyone else over there. Taste is actually moving forward, leaving Foxy behind, completely alone, isolated here. Foxy will not be able to cross over. I'm surprised that Taste actually did not take any more shots here. T100 is rotating back to cover Foxy, potentially going for a move on to C. They are all unspotted apart from Ufpanjaj over here, who just decided to drop into the A-cap. And Serenity is all on the rails. They are waiting for Foxy to move out. Or to get any more spots here. They're hiding actually with the T100s. Baiting. Waiting and baiting. Hoping for BPS to maybe go for a move here. BPS could potentially just push the C-cap. I thought they were going for it from the start on. No, they waited actually for the A-cap. I think they will go for the C push. Foxy with a speed boost going in. Taster will be the bait on the side of BPS, building up the pressure from behind. Similar play to last time. But Serenity is not as well prepared for it this time, I guess. Foxy jumping into the C-cap. BPS actually not going for the move just yet. They're just waiting it out, waiting for the information. Now the Serenity light tanks are spotted and are going for a push onto Foxy here. But the light tanks of BPS are well prepared for this. They just have to make sure that they do not get focused too heavily because Foxy is going to be ignored here. But the light tanks now coming in and BPS will have to focus these light tanks. Question is whether they will be able to do so. It does not look good here. General going down quite quickly already. Getting focused here by Alpha Rito and Macross beat, but Macross top is out of the fight. Alpha down to a one-shot. General out of the fight as well. Two guns out of the fight for Serenity. Ibarimo, the I7, also about to go down as well, but Rate to Success also down to one shot. Focus fire is everything on this game. Taste is very far from the fight. I don't know if he will actually be able to help enough here, because Serenity will have a lot more tanks over here in this fight in the city. Yet actually BPS already managed to turn around the game here. They have the hit points, they have the guns, they have the caps. Serenity will not win this one. There's no doubt about this. He was still trying to run away, but he's not going to be able to do so. Although Taste was just completely out of the fight, all he had to do was just knock onto the door and just spot the light tanks, distract them for long enough for BPS to be able to have enough tanks in the city here. And Taste is still very far from the fight, actually. I'm surprised that this actually worked out. BPS can just simply not lose this anymore. They just have the hit points and they have double caps here. They would have to mess up really badly. Yeah, point win here to the BPS team. Well played, well played. It was not looking good for a moment. Was really not looking as if BPS would win it, as General got focused so hard. And the counter push from Serenity was really well executed. Chasing down the light tanks, ignoring Foxy. And it seemed like they just had the gun advantage in the C area. But it was not enough here to go for this move. I don't know what happened to Taste here. Maybe he just disconnected, had some ping issues as he was just stopping on the train tracks. And that was certainly not the plan. I believe that Taste is probably, I don't know, maybe he was falling asleep. But I guess that's rather not been the case. He was probably just having some issues here with the ping. And having maybe a disconnect which means that another player of the BPS team just got switched into the team. I think it is Daniel, actually. No, Daniel was playing. I don't know who was benching before. I don't know. Next map, by the way, will be Fort Despair. BPS not going for the super light lineup on this one. They're picking double VK72, one IS7, an AMX50P, and triple LTs. Serenity on the other side going for double IS7, double M6. Your first time seeing those? Not sure. And triple T 60TP. Full heavy for Serenity. But on this map, light tanks have often shown to not be the most helpful. So we will see how this is going to turn out for BPS against a top-notch full heavy lineup. Match point to each team. One win needed for any of those to win this encounter here. And we are seeing the BPS team mostly heading towards base C. They will be able to get into the C cap straight away. I guess that's their plan. While Serenity is heading into the corner. They are not finding anyone. Maybe they are getting into the A cap, but the A cap can be defended quite easily. So C is a little bit safer. Oh, interesting first spot here by OpenJosh. Just going straight through the middle. Foxy also being in the middle of the map. And the LTs here found, oh, all these shots flying in. OpenJosh just closely dodging these shots. Managing to get out unharmed, almost. There comes a push already. All the spots are in and Serenity is well set up to crossfire. But the VKs will build up some pressure while the T100s are going to go behind the silver here, probably alone, and allowing the BPS team to push onto him. But the hit points are not looking good to BPS at this point. Yute is down to a one-shot on the VK72. But he's supposed to take some shots on his very heavy tank. And the TP here will be the next one to get focused by Amure. And there goes the clip into him. But BPS lost 3 tanks already, as Serenity only lost 2 and 5k hit points in advance for the Serenity team here. OpenJosh not going to survive this push. Running into the M6 with 2 shots loaded. Oh, this game was not turning out in the favor of BPS. They tried to just cut off the ray with the VK72s and the IS7s. But the VKs got focused down too soon, while the light tanks lost a ton of hit points on their push. Maybe going for this push after taking the C cap was a bit too much here, as the Serenity team was set up quite well for that. They had a double heavies camping over here. They had the M6 pre-aiming from the side already, being able to put in some crossfire. They had so many hit points on the field that it was simply, it was simply very hard to turn this around for BPS. Full heavy lineup. And maybe a little bit too aggressive here, as they just did not really have the option. They had the spots. They were thinking about just quickly taking out 2 guns. But the TP and the IS7, I think it was, being hidden behind the wall were not really too great targets to focus. Da Silva was basically a free kill, yes, but he was also covered from behind. So that it came in quite costly for the BPS team. So it is Serenity running this. Serenity winning the first encounter here. BPS just struggling on the Fort Despair map. against such a heavy lineup. Vasik is elf, yeah. Well, I don't know who is Amore. I could not check that. I could not check that. Yeah, a lot of people asking for rewards. Enjoy the stream, guys. Enjoy the stream. That's the best reward you can get. And maybe you will be able to get some bonus codes then. Maybe. I don't have them ready yet. But this is not a stream you watch for rewards, because you want to see how others get rewards by playing great games. Okay, we are just in a bit of a break here for like next games are starting in 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do right now is to just show you the first game that we actually missed. Let's try to find that so you don't have to leave the stream. I will show you the first game that we missed there. Again, apologies for missing the first one due to technical difficulties there. Yeah. After that, everything worked again, so I guess it's fine. I'm just quickly searching the stream link. I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. It's actually in game. I didn't even have to quit the game for this. Current live. It was a Monet streaming this one. Advertisement. Let's quickly mute that. Let's quickly mute that. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. First game here. One second, I'll just make sure the quality stays at 1080p. Good. Yeah, we will have to watch it muted, so that I can still have a say here. I don't know if there's any copyright music or so. Oh, BPS was going for a very aggressive move early on, trying to just find some tanks before crossing over. They wanted to just go for a shootout here. The Leopard also going quite aggressive on top, so BPS planned to just go very quick towards the A-cap to make sure they were able to put in a couple of shots, maybe have some tank tracked while he was crossing over to the A-cap. Was not really working out. BPS just lost a couple of hit points. The AMX 50Bs were also ready to just go for crossfire into the Serenity team. The main goal here was to just leave the Serenity team trapped in the river, which was not really working out, as Serenity had these IS-7 just steamrolling and going in quite aggressively without taking too many shots. And the light tanks lost too many hit points on the go already, although the hit points are still quite close here until now. By the way, if you're wondering, after this one, I will also still go over the other games, just quickly analyze a little bit and see what happened there. Although I think I don't have much time for that, only 10 minutes left. So yeah, General already down to one shot and spotted. Not looking good here for BPS. And as we know, BPS lost the first game. Free cam. Action. Okay. Yeah, 2 guns out of the fight already here. 50B's only now getting into action. Could not really find the target before that, and getting focused down for this as well. Really not looking good for BPS, yeah. The strategy just completely failed here, to be honest. At this point, it's already lost for BPS. So let's quickly show you what I was talking about at the start of the game with the T100s over there. Let's go like this. Quickly get my screen brush. Can we have it, please? Yeah. Okay. So the plan was to just have the T100s go into this position. They're somewhat high down here. And if any other tank from the ACAB would just get over here, they could potentially just perma-track any tank in this position there. Because this particular spot there does not allow you to get the gun down. If you've been there, you know that once you're crossing over, getting up onto the hill, your gun is just pointing up and you're not really getting the gun down. So that was the goal, to just perma-track someone here or just put in a couple of shots over there. The Leo would also help from the side. And like this, they would have really nice crossfire, would have a good DPM to put in track shots. And then there were the 50Bs on the side, just going forward straight through B. That was the plan, to just shoot down this area as well. And they can have shots into the river from the B cap over there. It would in theory work out. This time it did not work out. Also this T100, while he is spotting up this area, he could also crossfire over there. So that was the initial plan, to just go for a massive shootout of those tanks over here. Yet Serenity did not allow for that to happen. The T100 just stayed down in safety. The IS-7s also moved covered behind the houses, while BPS just did not really connect a lot of shots. There come the AMXs, just shooting into the IS-7s for a couple of times here, but that's simply not enough. And just coming too late. Alright. So I'll just load my stream real quick. Just want you to see the other games still, or just go for a quick analysis of those. So, one second. Okay. That's probably... okay. The advertisement is already muted. Okay. The next game starting in 8 minutes, so we will have a little bit to analyze here. Not too long though. Not too long. Okay. Oh, that's confusing. Screen on screen on screen. Let's see. Second game here was a win in favor of BPS. We could already see that one quite well. Serenity just got trapped in the corner here at the start. They were all in this area, but they managed to somehow rotate out of this. The IS-7 here just spotting up everything over there and being able to crossfire this area, while there were 2 tanks set up to crossfire. The T100 just camping on the hill at the start to also have some cross shots into this area. So effectively there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks set up to shoot into this area. Serenity still managed to get out of there. Not as healthy as they would have wished for. Still able to deny the B cap from the BPS team, but it was just turning out to not be enough here to decap the base, as BPS was able to win on the kills later on. They were able to counter push base A. AMX 50p was effectively out of the fight, same as the IS-7. And the T100s were there. DPM and mobility were just quick enough to go for a good move there. Let's see the next one here. Just don't want to just show the entire games again, just want to show you where the game was turned around basically. And what the strat's purpose was, so that you have a better understanding of what's actually going on these tournaments here. Okay. Yeah, BPS this time, they try to just spot the area over here. Take the A cap real quick. But Serenity having a far heavier lineup was just simply meaning that BPS wanted to wait for the spots with these tanks first. You may have wondered why they're actually just camping in spawn, but they just did not want to risk too much, as they just simply did not have hit points and armor to afford any mistakes. So they wanted to wait for some information, go for a move later on. And I guess that's also what happened then. I just skip forward a little bit, because this part was rather boring. And there comes the move from BPS here into the city. The IS-7s leading the push. IS-7s here were responsible to tank all the shots. They wanted to just take the shots for the light tanks, while the light tanks were then coming in from the side, as you can see here. Like those guys, they were in a good position hull down against those tanks, but once the T100s managed to get to the side, they were able to crossfire into them, and also like one of the Serenity guys isolated himself over here. So that was the goal of this push. And by that, BPS was just able to win the game here. They also had the caps, although it still got very close here. It still got very close. As the hit points were still in favor of Serenity for a long time. Yet BPS managed to just ignore the very healthy 60 TP and go for the low hit point tanks. That was just so crucial here. Amazing bounces here. Both light tanks bouncing each other. And look, now there's only the 60 TP left alive. That was exactly the purpose of the strat here, or of such a lineup. To have only the heavy tank left behind and just going for the low hit point tanks, especially light tanks earlier. Okay, I just want to quickly check the status of the game. If we have the room invite already. We don't have the room invite yet. Okay. Might come any minute. Might come any minute. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next game here still, but let's go for another one to analyze still. We had Alpenstadt here. Alpenstadt was just really well played by Serenity. Second game here. Serenity knew exactly, they had the heavier lineup, they could afford to be more aggressive. And that's exactly what they did, without really isolating any of their tanks. They knew, like, BPS was again doing the same thing basically. They had all these camping light tanks, so Serenity just built up the pressure immediately, just went straight in front of them, shot them down, I don't quite know how Daniel actually got into the spot over there. Right now, everything seemed to still be absolutely fine. Now Daniel is going for a move, and that turned out to be a horrible mistake. Daniel is moving forwards. Tried to flank around, but he should not have gone through the middle here. He should have really waited for those guys from the side to move in first. If the others were in the back here and could provide the spots, could provide the crossfire, then Daniel could also cross over. But like this, he just got trapped and got isolated, got shot down from a ton of different angles. Nice voice crack. Okay, just quickly. Gotta check the game. I think we might have a room invite. Yep. We will see BPS versus Jones. But it's still going to take 4 minutes. So I still have time to see a couple more games here. Oh heck, was I actually on the wrong scene? I think I was just on the wrong scene. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's where stuff went wrong here. That's what I just tried to show you. BPS just could have or should have just pushed in the right side, on the right side first with their light tanks to create a crossfire, get the spots in. And Daniel here pushed in too soon, just got isolated and crossfired from everywhere. And that's already how BPS basically lost the game, as they just lost a ton of hit points here for not really any reason, not gaining any advantage. The T100s on the right side also stopped for a little bit. They wanted to go for a shootout onto the I7s, but they should have just pushed forwards, just get the kill of the T100 straight away. They had 4 tanks against 3 in this area. They could just push in, take the T100 out in no time basically. And then they would have a significant advantage. It would be 4v2 against the I7s. And because of this, they just lost a lot of time. We lost 1 tank here, also lost some hit points on the side of Daniel. And in the end, this was really crucial as BPS was just getting into the 2v2 in the end. Not having the hit points left to win the game anymore. Although it was a superb performance here by those players, it was simply not enough anymore. This was taking for a long time still, so let's move on. This game here was BPS sending the IS-7s as a bait to the rails, which seemed to be working out. It seemed to be a good idea, yet it was simply not working out as they wished to. Because what happened is was that Serenity just turned around. Like this, you can see it, I guess. BPS tried to counter push the desert area with everyone. Well, they still had the double IS-7s over there, and they knew that there were a lot of Serenity tanks in this area because they all waited for the IS-7s. But then the LTs came from behind and just tried to delete this area really quickly. They almost got to be successful, but the IS-7s here just got completely ignored, were way too far from the fight. And yeah, I think the IS-7s should have also just ignored the heavy over here, should have just helped out on A, although they would have taken a lot of shots there. They would have taken a lot of shots, but there was a bit of an issue. That was a bit of an issue, and BPS was just losing out on the tanks in the end. Okay, I think the games are starting right now. 20 seconds left, so we cannot analyze any more games because live games are getting started again. Much better. And actually Jones is going for a counter strat or counter setup here. As we can see, they are also going for the T100 spam. At the start of the season, no team was going for any T100s. It was only BBS. Teams have adjusted because they were struggling to keep up with the pace. And Vickers is on the side of BPS. He will go for the spots while the rest of the BPS team will do something. We don't know yet. I7's heading towards the middle on both sides. T100's on the side of Jones here, heading straight towards the C-cap. But this leaves the I7s completely alone. Will be the question whether BPS notices this, and they could potentially already go for a push onto these I7s. They would have the option right now. They would have to be really quick, but they could do it. They could do it. They don't have the info. They don't have the information about the T100s, which got into the corner unspotted. Okay, just quickly want to check. Yeah, it's... Nope. Yeah, now we've got it. The I7's here providing the spots right now, as well as last AFK in the back there. Apart from that, we've also got Vazik here in a very aggressive position. Sneaky move into the back of the I7s. Is able to put in some crossfire here, but I don't know. It might be a little bit risky if the T100s are going to push onto him frontally. But it will take some time for the T100s to reach him. Question is whether he will actually have the information to go for it. Vazik not getting hit here. The IS-7s are pulling back out of the B-cap. But BPS will now be able to go for a move here. It is a standoff of IS-7s. It will not be about this fight. It will rather be about the T100s. And the last AFK just did a huge mistake here, I think, by pushing in. Lost a lot of hit points. He will get chased down by Amory. Last still alive as a two-shot. Foxy's out of the fight, but last AFK going down quite soon. And the brawl is full on going on here. Kinderbrainos Jones is also one shot. 2 guns out, or actually 3 guns out of the fight for BPS already. Well, there are only 2 guns out, not quite. Almost 2 guns out for Jones, sorry. But the cap points are becoming a huge issue right now, as BPS simply has only 1 cap, while Jones has double caps at over 900 points, and it does not look like BPS would have the chance to still stop the caps, get the kills in any way. 1-0 for the Jones team. BPS hesitating a lot here to go for a move. They wanted to wait for having the information until counter pushing base B. And at that point, Jones was well prepared for this. So BPS did not really have the chance anymore to go for this game. To go for a win on this one. Is BPS sticking to the lineup now that they know that Jones is countering them in the way they do? Seems like it. If both teams have such similar lineups, even more important it is what kind of moves the teams are going for. And it will be all about every single shot and the perfect timing of the focus fire. It's not much about the strategy anymore. It's just all about the skill in the game. Jones deciding to go for one more heavy to have a little bit more hit points in the game, allowing them to go for pushes a little bit easier. On the other side, we do have slightly more DPM and mobility because of one more T100. Surprisingly, Elmery is not playing here. Who is Kinder Bueno though? I don't know who it is. Probably a known player, but I don't know. I don't know who it is. Okay, next one. It is Black Gold Drill again. And we could already see the setups. Double I7 versus triple I7. Quadruple T100 versus quintuple T100. BPS not having a Vickers this time. And they are going for the first spot here with Way to Success, aka Open Josh. Not spotting up anything though, because Jones is all on the A side with everyone. Vasek here, potentially in trouble, maybe getting shot on the run. Nope, he is being sneaky enough to take a safe route out of this. Cap advantage will go to Jones here, as they will be able to take the A cap quite soon. Whereas BPS, alright, they will probably be able to get B even. Kinder Bueno is not going to be able to decap that constantly, I guess. But it's not about the caps here for BPS. They're ignoring the IS-7 now that they are aware of him being in the back. They want to go for the push immediately. Tusty rolling in from behind. Jones going forwards as well. General is getting focused down very heavily here. But it will be the question whether this push is worth it, because BPS still has the same amount of tanks here. The IS-7 is just out of the fight over there. One gun out on the side of Jones as well, but also Vasek here just got smacked out of life. Amory as well. Does not look good to BPS. 3k hit points in advance to the Jones team. And the T100s are very low on hit points. Utah here still trying to run away. Not connecting his shot onto Ghosty. And Utah is here one shot, potentially. 50-50 chance. There goes Way to Success. Taster still trying to shield. Utah not able to do so properly. And only the IS-7s are left alive. Jones here showing some really strong performance. They have struggled in the qualification stage of this tournament. But now they seem to have found out how to play this, especially with the light tanks. They did a really good move here, very aggressive gameplay early on. BPS was still trying to get to the fight, and just not fast enough with their IS-7s. They had 2 IS-7s out of the fight. Jones, on the other hand, had 1 IS-7 very far from the fight. And but still, like, the IS-7 that was just further away just did not matter as much, as there was still tanked in advantage early on for the Jones team on the A flank. And BPS, of course, they also had this light tank, still very aggressive. I don't know who it was a general, I think, who just got focused very early. And that was just crucial, just the diminishing of one tank out of the fight, just allowing Jones to have a lot more effective DPM in the game after that. Great gameplay here by Jones. But BPS does not change their lineup, while Jones is actually changing it up quite heavily. Literally heavily. They're going for a full heavy lineup on this one. Picking quadruple 60 TP and triple IS-7 here. Okay, they will start with a lot more hit points into the next game. Will be very interesting to see what's going to happen here. Next map will be Hellas. So it looks like Jones was actually going for a heavy-sided strat, probably going for the double caps. But also they could just provide some map control by leaving some tanks in the back. I think that will be very hard for BPS to fight against, if they cannot find any weak links in the lineup of the Jones team. And there we go. Jones heading towards base B with most of their tanks. Probably leaving some tanks behind still. I would assume that's to be the case. Not looking like it right now. The IS-7s will have to be very careful in the middle here. They can just spot up a little bit. Not connecting their first shots. I don't think that BPS will be able to reliably decap the A base right now, as the IS-7s are already in the middle here. The T-100 does have the option to shoot the A cap a couple of times, but I don't know if he's able to do so reliably. And if the trades would not be bad to him. General now also helping out, but Jones is going to get away with this cap. They have 3 tanks in the base right now. Not quite, actually. Foxy here getting focus, as the IS-7s are stuck in the middle. They decided to go for push forwards here. Wanted to move away from these TPs that were pushing in from behind. Now it looks like BPS might have found an option here. They're not really in a push. They're rather getting pushed onto. But this means that there are 2 T-100s right behind Jones. And this counter push here from Jones might turn out to be the game winning move. But might also be the game losing move, as they now allow the T-100s to make use of their mobility and TPM, as they're just getting behind the heavy tanks here, and they are not able to. They were not able to fight them frontally, but BPS just lost both of their heavies, while Jones only lost 1 tank. Yet Jones already lost a lot of hit points. Also, the hit point difference still at 2k. Daniel losing way too many hit points. Oh. Whoopsie just, yeah, confidently pushing on to way to success here. Was trying to get out of this, but he is still running into a lot of tanks. Maxwell here into Ufpencharge, and there he goes. Deleted off the field. Does not look like BPS would still stand a chance on this one. BPS not having the tanks anymore, not having the hit points anymore. Although they still have only 200 hit points less, but they do have the double caps. But Jones will be able to stop the base here. Vasic trapped behind the Jones team. Next T-100. Running into a lot of guns here. Yuto still running into Kinder Bueno. Trying to just jump down, not getting the kill though. General is struggling to find an option to really go for a push. 1 tank after another here on this game on the side of BPS, just pushing into the Jones team. And struggling to find the options here against such a heavy lineup of the Jones team. Was really not easy, and the IS-7s just did not really. Yeah, the IS-7s just pushing through the middle might have also been a big issue here for BPS. They could have probably taken a safer route to get to the back of the Jones team like this. They just took a lot of damage on the crossing already before they were able to push in. Jones reacted to that, counter pushed quite easily. This was a rather poor performance here on the side of the BPS team. Not really finding any good options. Not finding any opportunities to fight and really, really get into good positions here. They're sticking to the lineup though, so is Jones. BPS is going still for the double I7 quintuple T100. And Jones now again with a lot of big guns, a lot of strong armor. Picking Kranwagen, who would surprise me. Even better armor than the IS-7. Even the 60TP does not have such strong armor. But the Kran is slow. Does not have DPM, but it has a clip at the start. We will see. But it's a match point now. Match point game here. To Jones, they would only have to win one more fight. And judging by the way that they played so far, they're not going to struggle with this one. BPS so far has done really well with their very light lineups. But it is the question whether they can stick to it for the rest of the tournament, as they are now fighting the really top teams that are going heavy still on a lot of occasions. Let's see whether BPS can improve on that, or whether they will have to go for something completely different to what they have done so far. Let's head up here, see what's going on. The IS-7s getting to the B cap to defend that one. Lost the button again. I lost the button again. What the? There it is. There it is. Alright. The I-7s now being a bit of a bait here. But they are actually getting pushed onto. This time, there are a lot of T100s covering this push. I don't think this push is a good call here, the best call. The I-7s are not as alone as BPS Jones has hoped for. They're still covered quite well, although Foxy is in the open, probably getting shot down here. He can get into cover a little bit. Taste is moving forward. But the 60 TPs here are rather safe. And it is the question now whether the T100s are actually able to put in enough crossfire. They are just chipping away some hit points here and there. You can see all the tanks of Jones lost some hit points. But BPS, as they are not able to get aggressive here with their lineup, just struggling with the focus fire. Jones just confidently pushing forwards and just shooting down one tank after another, but Kinderburner now losing a ton of hit points. Might go down, might be the first one to go down on the side of Jones. But Gassio is already helping him out. And Amory will also get deleted. This is not working out for BPS. The way that they are playing right now, the T100 spam is fun. But is it really able to counter such a strong team as the Jones team? It does not look like it was the case. Does absolutely not look like it was the case that BPS was able to really win against a team like Jones with their light tank spam. I'm sad to say that we're not getting the medium meta back just yet. No, I don't see it. On some games, yeah, with the 3 or 4 light tanks, yes. But on a game like this one, what was BPS supposed to do? They just had no options at all. I did not see it. I did not see them winning this one in any way. They would have to cover their IS-7 so well that they would have to delete like 2 to 3 tanks while the TPs and the IS-7s were pushing onto the double IS-7s. In that time, the T-100s needed to put in so much DPM and so much damage that they could delete 2 or 3 tanks to make up for their loss of, or for their disadvantage of the hit points from the start. So, I don't know. That was just not working out. The T-100s could not just push in either. Like, it would have helped if there were like 2 more heavies at least to just push in and help out the IS-7s. And just provide some more focus fire early on. It would have really needed a couple more heavy tanks here. Because the T-100s, they just had to just be super afraid of the fight. They had to keep a distance. And distance is exactly what Jones was not giving the BPS team here. They were quite safe. And I don't know. Let's just I want to have a quick look at the previous 2 games here. Just from with another not another perspective, but just I can have another look at it and see whether I maybe missed a thing or two. And I know that a couple of people are mostly just leaving at this point, but thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to smash that like button. Leave a subscription for more, and also if you want to see my regular content, regular streams and videos will be on this channel, or are on this channel, will be more on this channel about how to play the game, etc. Everything that you can imagine. Not quite, but okay. My streams are on Twitch. Just want to note that once more, my streams, regular streams, are on Twitch, where I just show my own gameplay. You will have to join the Twitch account for that, or just follow the Twitch account down below. Just head into the description of the stream and you can find my Twitch link down there. So let's get to the analysis of these games here. I don't even want to look at all the games. Or maybe I can. It's only been 4 games. So I guess we can just go very quickly over them. Not going to be a hugely long analysis. So let's just get to that point. Switch scenes to this one. I think I'm a bit too far already. Okay. We could see at this point here, BPS is deciding to push into B. Hey, Jones still had a ton of tanks over there to cover that. Jones now had all the tanks pushing the B cap, while BPS did not have bad chances of being successful at that. But Vasik here, being completely alone in a back still, got pushed onto by the T-100s now. He was maybe a bit too aggressive still, as Jones was able to take him out quite quickly. And also, focus fire in this area was just highly in favor of the Jones team. BPS had to push into an unfavorable position. They just did not really gain any advantage by this push, but they needed to go for it. They needed to stop the bases. But like this, the Jones team was set up perfectly to have a good crossfire here, go for a really nice counter push, take out guns. And they still had very passive tanks down there. The IS-7s here were the only tanks that could really get focused for BPS, while Jones could actually focus the T-100 that was still on the back over there. Let's head over to the next one. This one was over quite quickly, actually. Okay, next game. Actually, we can just get the music playing in the background again. Next game, it was this one where one IS-7 was left behind on the side of Jones here. Just gotta pause here, I guess. Yeah, here it is. That's the point where BPS knew there was one IS-7 over there. So they decided they would have to clear the A side, because like this, one IS-7 in the far back over there meant that BPS could potentially fight a 7 versus 6 in that area if they managed to kill A. But also they had, well, Tester was not far away. Foxy was also quite far away. He was not able to help on the way to success. Okay, Open Judge was also out of the fight. While General and the other light tank, Vasic it is, were still quite aggressive. They offered a weak spot for Jones to push onto, and they had a heavy tank ready, or 2 heavy tanks ready, to just push in here without fear of just losing hit points, as they had the hit point advantage anyways. Not by a big margin, but 1k hit points were enough to just go for the push here, and a lot more armor on these IS-7s. They could just go full YOLO, get these 2 kills here, win the game by that. So let's get on to the next one. I think this was really decided at that point already. We don't need to see the rest. We can see like General here just getting smacked, the IS-7 struggling to get into the fight, and the rest of the BPS team just barely there, as the first one is already dead. Jones did really good on the reaction here. They were really quick. Let's just get to the next game. We only had 2 more games here. And on this one, I could see a huge issue by BPS just moving through the middle and losing a ton of hit points. So far, it was not looking too bad here for BPS. So far, like, all the Jones guys are in the corner. What could have actually helped here if the IS-7s were able to also help with decapping the A base. Like this, the T100s, they were simply not strong enough. They did not have the armor, and they only had one position here, 2 T100s to just crossfire A, but there were 3 tanks over there, all the big guns. They were really dangerous and hard to decap as well. The IS-7s actually decided to go for a move here, but you could see, like, these guys, they are already peeking at these IS-7s, and they are greedy for them, and that's just going to come in very costly for the IS-7s that are just pushing forward. And this was already a huge issue here, that Foxy and Taste both lost a ton of hit points before they even got to any push here. If they were able to just go for a safer route here, if they were able to get to the right side and move over there, it would have cost a lot of time, yes. But then they had very healthy tanks in the back. Like this, they just got farmed and they did not really have anyone to push onto. If the goal was to just go straight for a push onto last AFK, it would not have been great. Certainly not, but then losing the hit points would have maybe been an option, but last AFK was certainly well hidden from behind. And crossing over to the other side did not gain BPS any advantage. Although there were more tanks in less tanks in this area. There was only last and the other 6 GP. Possibly BPS could have even left the IS-7s in place while just pushing in from the back with all the T100s. Would have been another option to just make more use of the T100s here, because the IS-7s just lost all the hit points for not really any reason. There was nothing that they could do here. And the T100s now also have to get into safety. They don't even have good positions here for the push or for anything. Maybe if there was already 1 or 2 T100s in the corner here on the TD positions, Another few TD100s over there, and then 2E100s coming in from behind. I think like there was a chance that the BPS T100s were still able to just farm off the 60 TP over there and this one. But for that, the IS-7 still needed a lot more hit points, and the T100s needed to be in good positions to go for the push straight away. Like this, it wasn't just not possible. The IS-7s here needed to fall back, shoot the Kinder Buenoso. Kinder Buenoso? It's Kinder Buenos. What the heck? But it was not possible for them. It was not like they just got smacked too soon. It was not really working out here. And the T100s, you could see like, again, like all of the Jones guys losing hit points here. Yes, good thing. Farming down hit points. But what you really need in Clan Wars, what you really need in tournaments is just taking out guns. And that's what happened here on the other side. Like all of these tanks are full life. You might say like that might be a good thing for them, but no, they lost 2 tanks. And just add up the DPM that all of these tanks have. Like the IS-7 certainly don't have the greatest DPM, but they also have like 2.4k DPM per minute. And those combined is like 4,800 already. I don't know what the total DPM is of all these tanks, but they have like each about just above 3k DPM, the T100s. But 4,800 are gone. On the other side, there is 1 tank out only. Also, this means that 7 tanks are now facing only 5 tanks on this side. And it will be a lot harder for those tanks to peek out safely anywhere, as they are just getting pre-aimed by a lot more guns and they're getting pushed onto. They also have a hit point deficit here. So yeah, T100 is really not working out on this one either. I think it was also in part about the positioning, not only about the light tank setup. They could have played this out in a better way. Yet the light tank spam just comes at the risk of just not being in position, not being able to trade, and mistakes can come in very costly. Game was decided at this point. So let's just have a quick look at the last game still. Last game here, IS-7s going to the outer side of the map this time, not into the middle as on last game. They were just being a bait here. They were hoping to be able to just block these IS-7s in place. The T100s over there could then crossfire, and the goal was to just shoot down Object 3, for example. But it was not possible. They wanted to shoot down everyone pushing into these IS-7s, while the IS-7s were just able to survive for a long time. The T100s shooting from the side, shooting from behind, putting out a lot of damage, while the IS-7s just magically bounced a lot of shots. And that was the game plan here, but yeah, we could see in a second what Jones actually did. And that was just lining up, all covered here. Look at that. Look at that. There are 4 tanks just lining up behind this cover here. There's this plateau which is covering the tanks over here quite well. The IS-7s can't really hide. So they can just have 4 tanks directed at 2 and just shoot and shoot and shoot until those guys are dead. They can't hide both of them. The T100s are really struggling to put in shots, and they were all at a distance still. Maybe the T100s they needed to go for a move here. Like, also General just being behind, they're trying to shoot like at 200 meters, one of the IS-7s. Maybe he could put a shot into Ghosty, maybe he put a shot into Gazeo. Jones wanted to decide which tank was going to suffer on the hit points. They could peek out with whatever tank was needed. The healthiest tank could always just peek out first, take up the shots, and then the others could peek out and just shoot down those guys. It did not matter to them. Whereas those guys could not decide who was going to peek. They could just swap, of course, they had 2 tanks. But all the others were just shooting at a long range here. As there were 4 tanks busy taking out 2, it would have probably even made more sense if all the T-100s in the meantime just teamed up and killed, like, for example, those 2 tanks over there. There are 2 tanks completely alone. And if the T-100s just steamroll, like 2 tanks behind, 2 tanks from the front, or 3 tanks behind, whatever. There were 5 tanks available to just go against 3 with a lot more DPM. Then it could have worked out, maybe. Because those guys are really quite isolated. All of those would have just certainly turned back. And it would not have been easy to take out these 60 TPs easily, unharmed. Probably not. But like this, crossfiring, no. There was no option here. Just shooting one tank after another. We can see now, just look at this again. BPS still has like a lot of really healthy tanks. 2 T-100s lost some hit points. But on the other side, no focus fire at all here. Jones just did not care. They just peeked out one after another. Just lost a few hit points, but they took out 2 guns. And that's all that matters here. They took out these 2 tanks. They still have relatively good positions, although BPS is in a slight favor here in terms of map control. But they were just simply not able to make any use of it because they also were down on the, like, look at this, 5k hit points less. And they just did not even take out this TPs over here. They were not able to really, they were not able to gain anything apart from just shooting down a few hit points of the Jones team and getting C, which is completely useless. And now BPS is still desperately trying to move in. One tank after another goes down, but that push had to come earlier while the IS-7s were still focused. Then the T-100s could just get closer. Of course, it would have been very risky, but just imagine it. Like, these TPs, or the IS-7 TP, they stayed in position for the entire battle, basically. If, like, double T-100 managed to come from behind, double T-100 managed to come from the front, one T-100 maybe even being further back, so they would not block each other and have another angle. Like, if the one T-100 was moving into the A cap, he would also have shots onto these guys over here. He could stop the cap and also put in shots while there were still 4 tanks available to shoot down these 2. There was only 1 more tank covering them maybe. But the heavies just did not have a lot of DPM and they were still trying to take out these IS-7s. If they all switched over, I don't know what would have happened. Just at this point, we're just getting into theory quite far here. We don't really have like an anchor point to see how it would have actually turned out anymore. But just imagine this. The IS-7s were there. The 4 guys, the 4 heavies were in this position. The 4 red heavies, the Jones heavies were trying to shoot down the IS-7s. And then we have these 2 guys, double T-100 behind, double T-100 in front, and 1 T-100 over there. These guys getting focused heavily. They were probably about to push forwards. And then if they pushed forwards, the others would have to go back, the T-100s, and they could get deleted over there. If they stayed, they would get farmed. They could not stay. So Jones would either decide to just take out the IS-7s or they would all turn back, try to go for the T-100s. Could possibly run away. I don't know. I'm not too sure about it. Jones still had a lot of hit points. Jones still had a lot of hit points to potentially win the game by turning around. Just want to quickly check it out over here. Here it was. If we've had the situation of the T-100s coming from the front or just those guys really getting focused here, Jones had 2,000 hit points more. 3,000 almost. Well, over 3,000. I don't know, like if the T-100s really moved into the fight here, It could have been worth it. Could have been worth it. I could have just taken out these guns. But there's also Kranwagen. Kranwagen has a really dangerous clip, but after the clip, Kran's DPM is useless. How safe could they be if they were behind? TP, Kran, super dangerous. I don't think we will know. I don't think we will know. We cannot know about the outcome of this. If the setup would have actually allowed for a win here. Against the strategy that the BPS team, or the Jones team played. Okay. So, a lot of people are leaving already, but I think I will just quickly have a look at the leaderboard, the scoreboard. I just want to see how teams are actually ranking after this. BPS did not have a good start. BPS just had a horrible start to this one. Okay, let's just switch over to the desktop once more. Voice cracks. Today I'm like really struggling with my voice. Yeah. Can we see the results anywhere? Oh, brackets. That's good. BPS has not won any games yet. You know, just tying up with Immor here, and also First has not won any games. Raid has won one game, lost one. And the BPS second team actually outperforming the first team of BPS here. So far on the 4th place. Same as Raid here. Jones has lost won all games, as well as APA and Serenity. But yeah, still everything is possible, and I would say BPS really had to fight the strongest opponent so far. But it was not really a good sign, not too promising so far what they showed us here on this one. They have to do more if they want to win against teams as Jones here. And also APA Raid will be very strong opponents to fight for BPS. And also, like, I think Immor and First will be a bit easier. Or did I just say APA Jones? We've seen Jones already. No, APA Raid. APA Raid, yeah, did say that. Okay. And then there's also the BPS team. This is actually last day of the group stage, where it is round robin. Everyone plays everyone. On the last day, last game will be BPS versus BPS. So, okay. I think that will be it for today then. So have a good night, folks. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and see you soon then on tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow is the next tournament stream, and it will be the second day of the group stage then. So have a nice evening still. Don't forget to leave a follow on Twitch as well in the description below. And yeah, goodbye. Goodbye. See you then tomorrow. Goodbye.